Yeah.
And have you talk about, well, you have a really interesting job, and it's so random. You make music for TV shows.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
just so, and you're in Nampa, Idaho.
Yeah.
It's so random.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, how'd you get into that?
Well, so I've been a musician my whole life, and I've always wanted to, like, back as far as I remember. Even when I was a kid, I was like, my dream job. All I want to do in the world is make music. Somehow. I don't even care how. Then I got to college and wanted to be a rock star, and so that was going to be the thing. And it's going to be like Motley Crue. I'll be playing stadiums. Yeah, that didn't pan out, and so I started writing just my own music, and I turned to country music, hoping that I could sell a song to one of these country artists, because this is back 15 years ago. None of those guys were writing their own material, at least not the big ones. I don't know if they are anymore. I still doubt that if they are, but by and large, most of these country stars were buying songs from songwriters. So I thought, well, hell, I could write a country song. How hard could that be? Turns out it's a lot harder than you think. But I went to this music conference with the CD of country music, thinking that I'm going to go down there basically and hit a jackpot. Go down there broke, come back home a millionaire after I'd signed all these songs to Luke Bryan. And that didn't pan out at all. So I just happened to meet a guy while I was down there who kind of changed my focus, and I keep like bumping into this guy over and over in the elevator and at these classes and stuff. And he's a really cool guy. And I was lamenting my failures as a country songwriter. And the guy's like, well, have you ever thought about writing music for TV? And I said, no, I didn't even know that was a thing. How how are you going to write music for TV? He's like, well, you're at the right conference to learn it. At that point, like, the conference was pretty much over. I'd gone to all the classes on how to write better country music. Kind of wasted the whole experience. So I was like, I'm going to go back to this conference, and next time I come, I'm going to come with the focus of writing for TV. So I went home and started to try to learn this stuff on my own, and kind of made some decent headway, but not that much. And so by the time I went back to the conference, I just happened to bump into a guy who's turned out to be one of my really good friends, but he's like one of the 1%ers of the TV music composition world. Yeah, I mean, it's a very small company at the top, and he's one of the guys.
Wow.
And I just bumped into him drinking beer at the bar. Never underestimate the power of a beer at the bar. And anyways, we just hit it off, and he's like, well, let me listen to your music. Because we were talking about college football. That was our conversation.
Oh, okay.
Because it was in the fall, like early November. I'm actually going to the conference again next week. So.
Oh, nice.
What day is today? Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, a week from today. I'll be in LA at the same conference again. So, like, however many years ago, 10 years ago, I met this guy down there. And so it's college football season. He's a Georgia graduate, and so he loves them Georgia Bulldogs. And, of course, I'm a Boise State fan. So we were just talking about college football, and then he's like, hey, I'll listen to your music. Which I think was most times that doesn't happen, because people are like, hey, listen to my stuff. Yeah, you're better. But I was just talking about football with this guy, and I think it was like a breath of fresh air that someone's not trying to get a leg up on them.
Dude, from personal experience, it does make a difference. Like, if someone's like just so annoying,
yeah,
and you're just like,
oh,
just
dude,
shut up.
I know.
That could get in any type of career.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
Even in the plastics industry, that can get annoying when someone's just like all gung ho about plastic tips, and you're like, dude, you're not impressing me, man. You are not impressing me.
Dude, I live and breathe this stuff all day. The last thing I want to do is come down here and talk about it some more with people I don't even know. Go get me a beer, God damn it. But yeah, so let's see. Where was I at in that story? I met this guy talking about football. He said, "I'll listen to your music," and then I played him some stuff, and he's like, "Okay, well, this, do this different, do this different, do this." Mm-hmm. Basically, gave me a like graduate level education within the span of about 45 minutes, and so I'm like taking all these mental notes while drunk, of course. Like, okay, commit that to memory. Commit that to memory. Da 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 da. And I went home and started implementing all these strategies this guy told me, and then sure as shit, like the phone started ringing.
Wow.
Like I was part of this service, or still am part of this service, where you can kind of submit your music to get your foot in the door, but the music has to be good enough to be used.
So there's an actual. I guess I always thought music was music, like, but TV music is different.
Oh yeah.
Like. Well, now that I think about it, because I do video editing, from an editor's standpoint, like the type of music I like is it's gotta be like long, and like a lot of different, I don't know, like the music's gotta be long enough to edit with like variety in it.
Yeah,
maybe is that right?
Yep.
Because like if you just have a song that's like too short. Like, well, I can't do anything with that. You have a song that's too long, but it's just the same loop over and over. You're like, well, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, dude. Since you work on that side of the creative industry, you're probably familiar with everything that a good composition should do, even though you've never really thought about it consciously.
But I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because on YouTube they have like the free they have their own music.
Yeah.
And I learned a trick in editing as an editor is you always want to, like in music, because a lot of beginners will just listen to like the first 10 seconds of a song and go, oh, that's trash. But a good editor will skim through the song, because sometimes the song doesn't get good until like in the middle or towards the end. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, I don't like the beginning of that song, but I like the middle and end to it. And that could be like a 6-minute song, Yeah. So you never want to judge a song by like its first appearance. Yeah. You could just use whatever song you want.
That's by and large what most editors do, is they listen to the first 2 seconds and they make a decision based on that. And so the challenge with a composer is making the first 2 seconds. Yeah, like that's got to be the most captivating thing, because not everybody's like you that's going to skim through. Most people are going to be like, I'm so rushed for time, hit the space bar on the Mac and then the arrows in 2 seconds. Nope.
It's true, though. It's very true. I mean, I still do it when you're pressed for time, or the day's almost done. You're like, I just want this fucking YouTube done. And you just looking like, you play the first 5 seconds. You're like, nope, nope.
Yeah, because it's like when you're looking at chicks' profiles on dating apps. Like, you know whether or not you're interested.
So like, do you have to perfect like the beginning, like to hook them in?
Yeah.
Like, is that the whole art of it? Just like, or is there like some type of mood that you're trying to like perfect?
There is. So all of the above. It's a real art form. It really is. There's so many different strategies that you have to put into a piece of music all at the same time. So you have to start off completely captivating, so that like whatever,
or what type of mood it is, right?
Yeah, and you instantly have to set the mood. Yeah, and because when you're doing TV music, it's all about mood. Like you're not listening for enjoyment. It's like you're not looking for music that you want to listen to in the car.
Yeah, no, that's what's so weird about it.
It's just like this has to accentuate the video that I'm putting together, and that's all. Like there's a mood to your video, and you need the music to sell that. And so the first 2 seconds of your track that you put together has to be captivating and also completely get across the mood. Whether it's mischievous or aggressive or like sad, wistful, remorseful. Oh no, there's a whole list of moods that you can target any one of these things.
It's so weird, like, cause yeah, it's such a weird thing that no one thinks about. So like we have our famous bug restoration video, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got like
Yeah,
8.9 million views now.
Jeez.
And I still get comments today where like people are like complaining about the music. Like, I don't like the music. I don't like the music. And a lot of the music I actually had to mute because of the copyright
okay.
shit.
Yeah.
And it's not the same when there's no music.
Yeah.
The only way I can like compare it to is like well, try cooking a good meal without spices and salt and pepper.
Yeah, dude,
It's almost impossible. The music is like the salt and pepper and like the spices.
Yeah, that's a great
You know?
analogy.
That's what it is.
Good
Like-
work, Max. I'm taking that analogy to my music conference next week when I'm teaching a
It is.
panel.
Or you could even compare it to the sauce. You know, it's like
Yeah.
the sauce.
Dude, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes the meal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's not a lot of meals I could think of that are good without like the sauce or the.
Yeah, I know from experience.
you could
'cause most of my
survive-
meals
you
are
can-
rice and chicken.
You can survive off of just meat.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the wilderness, you could survive off of content without music, but it's just
You're not going to enjoy it.
yeah, you're not
Yeah.
gonna enjoy it. You gotta have the music.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
It takes a very talented person to make a movie or any type of video without music.
yeah.
It's almost like a very small tool that you could use, but you have to use it like smart.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah, you know,
you know?
and so there have been only 2 TV shows that I've seen recently, and they're not even that recent, but big shows that haven't used that much music.
They must have been really serious ones.
Because the show is that good that it's captivating enough without it, and that is so rare. But those shows are
yeah.
like Breaking Bad doesn't use a whole lot of music.
Oh, that's true.
But I mean, everything about that show was so good that, like, the story and the acting and all everything.
it probably
sold
had
it.
the same. It probably had the same song the whole time, which was that frantic. The din, 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 din,
Well,
din,
yeah,
din. Like it only had like one frantic song the whole time. I think.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
I mean, it had like the rap songs when like Jesse Pinkman was
Oh, yeah.
doing dumb
Yep.
shit, but those were already like copyrighted songs. you
yeah.
know?
That's a little bit different. Yeah. So the actual composition was very sparse in that show, and another one is a handful of episodes of Game of Thrones.
oh,
Like, surprisingly, just didn't have a lot of music either.
I could imagine that.
Yeah.
Like the very serious conversations or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Makes it like tense.
Yeah. But every other show out there, especially reality TV, is wall-to-wall music. I mean, it's...
Isn't that your main
Oh, yeah.
reality TV?
Yep.
Yeah, because you were saying didn't you do the opening song to Kim Kardashian?
I didn't do the opening song, but
Or-
I had music in pretty much every episode from season 4 through 14, which is the
Wow.
last season that they
And
did.
you just did all the different type of emotion songs like that.
Yeah, gosh, it's been so long since I've even thought about that show, but I think they primarily used my comedy stuff, which would be like comedy mixed with hip hop, because it had to have that hip hop
Yeah.
because they're a younger crowd, and especially when Kanye West was getting involved, and it really had to lean hip hop. But they were still doing stupid crap all the time and like spying on each other, and someone's talking shit, and so you got to play up the comedy of that. And that's actually my secret weapon is comedy music.
I don't even know where to begin with comedy music, honestly. Well, because I don't make anything comical, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, I'm trying to think of the last like reality show I watched that had comedy music. It's always this. You're right though, because it makes it really funny. Like if
Yeah.
you have really funny comical music, where it's just like,
Yeah.
and then like at the right moment, right
Dude,
when they edit,
some
like
guy
something
could just
really
be frying an egg,
Yeah.
and you put the funny song in there, and like all of a sudden, it's like, what is this guy doing? I don't know, but
Yeah.
it must be funny.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They had those stupid reality shows where they just show someone cooking in like their house,
Yeah.
and it's like so funny, and you're like, but it's just the music.
It's just the music. Yeah, or when they're getting out of their car. Like, there's nothing funny about that, but you put the funny track on there, and all of a sudden now it takes on a whole different vibe.
It's funny you point that out because I remember in broadcasting class in high school, our teacher did that where he played like a scene of like a horror movie.
Uh-huh.
So you'd play it, right? And it was like, whoa, this is scary. And then he would mute the audio of the movie, replay the scene with like clown music,
Uh-huh.
and it like became funny.
Yeah.
It was like, what the fuck?
Dude,
like just a moment ago, this lady was getting chased by a murderer, and then you play the clown music, and you're like, now it looks like she's getting chased by a friend.
Yeah.
Like, so weird.
Uh-huh. So when I used to teach at BSU, I did a very similar thing. I took this scene from Jaws where you don't even see the shark, but it's guys on the boat, and they're kind of like rigging
the
up.
music, right?
Yeah, they're rigging up their hooks and their guns and all the stuff to catch the shark. But there's nothing special about the lighting, so it doesn't look like a horror movie because it's just out there in the sun,
out in the
like
day,
in the middle of the day. So I did that one with the original audio, and it was very tense and like frantic because they're trying to get all this stuff, and it kind of builds the tension. And then I did a remix, if you will, where I played some really horror music, and it set a whole different vibe. And there's no dialogue in this whole scene.
Yeah.
So, and then I did the last one with the comedy music, and it just looks like these guys are jacking around on a boat doing
like just messing up and stuff. Like they can't get anything done.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was like. Because we were watching like a horror scene where like the lady's trying to run away from like the killer, and she keeps tripping and falling,
Yeah.
and she's like just can't she can't run, so like with the horror music it was like, oh man, like this is like,
oh, she'll never get away.
she's never
She's
gonna
gonna
get away.
die.
And he played like the clown music, and it's like, what is she doing? You just start
Dumb
laughing.
chick.
Yeah. It's so funny. This is completely politically incorrect, but there was this really funny video. I'm sure it's been deleted from YouTube because it's probably like offensive. But someone had uploaded a My 600 Pound Life, but they had tuba music playing in the background.
Oh.
So like when the person was walking, it'd be like boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
was like pretty freaking funny.
I've had music on that show.
This 600 pound.
Yep.
What type of music? Like I'm guessing it's just a bunch of sad, or is it
I don't know.
maybe inspirational when they lose the weight?
Could be, although I don't make that much inspirational music. So the problem with knowing all this stuff is I've made close to 5,000 pieces of music now. And so I get these, when I get my royalty statements, it's just kind of a list of all the shows that are using your music and all the piece that they use and how long they used it and all this stuff. And after a while, you just become blind to the whole thing. Like, I just look at the shows like, oh, that show, okay. And I don't even know what they're using or what's making money. I've gotten so lax in that. But,
Yeah,
I don't know what they're using of my...
probably maybe it could just only be like 30 seconds and that's it.
Yeah, sometimes these shows will just use what's called the stinger, which is the last couple of hits of your music. If they were using someone else's piece of music and they didn't make a good ending, that they will find someone who did make a good ending, which is
okay.
why that's another important compositional strategy.
Man,
and like chop off the tail and then add it to this other guy. So you'll see uses of your music that are like 2 or 3 seconds long. Like, what? Oh,
there's so many tricks you could do in editing. I mean, what they could do is if the song doesn't have a good ending in reality show, they could probably make an awkward pause.
Oh yeah,
with no music.
Yeah,
and then just use like the stinger.
Yeah,
and then just end it. I don't know. There's so many freaking.
Oh yeah,
those guys can pretty much warp time and space.
Oh yeah,
with editing.
Yeah, there's those guys that's their whole job is to sit in the little editing bay and add music. Like that's their thing, and they're chopping up tracks and finding.
What blows me away the one reality show, because you said you had some songs play on it, was the MTV Challenge.
Oh yeah,
and I still watch that show. But I'm just blown away just by like the whole show as a whole. Just like the fact that people had to like plan all that out.
Yep.
Had to plan out like all the rules of like all the challenges.
Yeah.
And then, the drama's not. I know the drama's not real, but they do a really good job at making the drama.
Yeah.
They make the drama like entertaining.
Yep.
And then on top of that, like the music, it just like blows me away.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, these guys that put these reality shows together. I mean, it's they got that stuff down to an art form, dude.
Yeah.
Because they managed to make some of the most mundane things
Entertaining as
entertaining, and like stuff that you don't want to, like, you stumble on it as you're flipping through channels, and you get hooked for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And you're willing to sit through the commercials so you can keep watching it, like.
Another one I got hooked on. Well, this is one reason why I don't have Hulu, because I tried the free like Hulu thing for one day, and I got sucked into Kitchen Nightmare.
Okay.
With what's his name?
Is it like
Gordon
Ramsay?
Yeah. I got sucked in that. I wasted a whole day watching that. I'm like, okay, I gotta cancel this thing. I'm gonna have no life. It's just so, and it's like it's got that stressful music to it. You know?
Yeah.
It was like, din, din.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another type of music that I haven't done much of that recently, but I used to do quite a bit of it. It's called elimination music.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
it's for those types of shows where, and I don't know about the one you're talking about, but there'd be a lot of those cooking shows where guys are like racing against the clock because you got two different chefs and they got a handful of ingredients, but they've only got 30 minutes to put a dish together, and so they're scrambling and
stressful music.
Yeah, and then like then you got the contestants or whatever sitting or standing there while there's a panel of judges,
and it's like the
slow
stressful.
Yeah,
music.
one guy's gonna win and the other guy's gonna get his ass sent packing, and so it's all called elimination music. Yeah.
There's an actual
thing. Yeah, elimination music. Yeah.
Wow. It's just, I don't know. It's just such a weird random thing that no one thinks about.
Yeah, dude. I was pursuing music my whole life and very actively trying to make a career out of music for a long time. And I never even knew this was a possible thing that people did. Like, I don't know why it didn't dawn on me. Because you sit there and you watch a show and there's music playing constantly, but I don't know, the secret of good music is that it's so unobtrusive that you don't even realize that you're hearing it.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the problems I had when I started YouTube. When I was buying the royalty-free music, which wasn't royalty-free off of iTunes, I found that out because I was getting those copyright strikes. But a lot of people didn't like the music, you know?
Yeah.
And I learned, I've learned, like, the music, like, it's actually really hard to find, like, mundane, like, background music.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. Because when people notice the music and they hate it, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, well,
it's like they shouldn't notice it.
Yeah, you shouldn't notice it. Yeah, the music should never be the star of the show.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So there's tons of places out there that have amazing music for this specific thing, TV music. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of companies that do that, and they collect all this stuff. They have these giant music libraries, and they sign contracts with all these shows.
Oh, okay.
But for the average everyday YouTuber or consumer, you're going to be priced out of that model.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have to turn to the royalty free, and that's where the young know-nothings go.
Yeah.
Because you get the worst of the worst
Yeah, it's
music.
not good. Now, I have to give YouTube some credit because their music that they provide is decent.
Yeah.
So they obviously have a team of, like, professionals that make music or something.
If I remember right, this was, 8 or 10 years ago, I'd heard about they were creating their own music library, and I think, without knowing for sure, but I think they probably had a budget of a couple $1 million and approached all these composers and they said, we need we need really good material.
Yeah.
We're not going to get it from these jokers over here. So we'll pay you a one-time fee, and you give us like, whatever the track count was, 10 tracks, and we'll give you $15,000. But these got to be slamming, because you'll never make any more money off them. They're completely royalty free, but
Yeah,
they need
yeah.
to be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had to have paid someone enough money to make it enticing.
Yeah. Because
To-
they have new music every year now.
Okay.
Like, it's almost like every time I get on, and they even show what year it was made.
Oh, okay.
So I know. But, like, yeah, it's almost like they have a YouTube music royalty-free thing going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, they have new music every year now. And it's a lot more. It's, like, solid.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing YouTube has that no other video platform has is they have royalty-free music. That is actually royalty-free.
Yeah,
You know,
and
it's not
good.
like- yeah, and good. Yeah, because back then I would just have to like buy a stupid album from some Joe Schmo from iTunes.
Yep.
And then the moment the things started getting viral, they get a copyright strike. Like, hey, you told me this was royalty-free, you motherfuckers. Nope, it ain't.
Yeah.
And the music wasn't even that good, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one thing. Yeah, man. Those those TV studios, they have it easy when it comes to music.
Yeah, they get
They can get anything
They can
they
get
want,
anything,
yeah.
but they've got the budget to be
Yeah.
able to afford
Oh yeah,
that.
it's not cheap. I
Yeah,
can
and
imagine.
they'll sign a contract with these, like a good music library, and it could be like $50,000. But it'll be like, okay, you pay us this fee of $50,000, and then you can use anything in our library.
Yeah.
But what everyday YouTuber is going to be able to
No,
afford getting
no one
into
can.
that? Yeah.
No one can afford it.